Hey, welcome back to Visions Now, Supper Club. All views expressed for their educational and journalistic purposes and not the views of the management, advertisers, and staff of 92.1 FM. However, Visions does desire to bring a quality entertainment program which intellectually stimulates and culturally fulfills our community's needs to develop leadership and informed decision-making for our collective future. Welcome to the village, often imitated, but never duplicated. I'm Dr. Shailene Hood, your host and executive producer. Welcome.
More than writing is more than man. Should first of all teach our children who they are. You see, if you don't know who you are, then you will not know what to do with your life. Yeah. And if you don't know what to do with it, then you won't know how to achieve your goals. So Alex Haley raised the question of who am I? And he asked his mother, father, aunts, and his uncles who he was. Some people told Alex they were Negro. Some told Haley they were colored. Others told Alex they were black. Some said they were Afro-American. Some told Alex they were African. And lastly, some said American. Now, we have the only children and some adults that give. Again, you cannot teach a child that is, first of all, not know who he is. It's more important than reading, math, and science. So we began to ask ourselves, why do Germans call themselves Germans? Why do Chinese call themselves Chinese? And we were told there's a land called Germany. There's a land called China. So let's go back to a world map. Germans are Germans, land called Germany. Chinese are Chinese, land called China. Let's go to a world map. Is there a place in the world called Negro land? What about color land? What about black land? What about Afro-American land? There's only two answers left, Africa and America. But be honest, what comes to most of our children's mind when they hear the word Africa? Tarzan? Running around, no clothes on? Be honest. And what about America? Red, white, and blue, and apple pie? That's because of this word right here, which is nothing but his story. You didn't know that?
This is the knowledge they don't want you to have.
Education is more than reading.
Are immortal. They don't want you to know that. They want you to go to school and learn a little bit of The kids ain't even learning cursive writing no more. Why? Penmanship is the end-all, be-all to existence. If you don't know how to write, you can't do nothing. Where do you think the first book came from? Somebody's mind. And guess how they got those thoughts? Through meditation, from the cosmos. Why you think they can't figure out how they build the pyramid? Why they so indestructible? That's metaphysics. That's what they not giving us. But guess what? We taking it back in the midst. Tonight is a full moon. Meditate in it. Cleanse yourself of that negative energy. Stop watching that television. Turn that radio off. Stop eating this genetically modified organisms that they got for your ass to transmutate into what they want you to be, which is nothing. Okay, because that's what they are, and they know that, and that's why they need you to be where they at, so they can try to figure you out, but they're not never gonna do it. Watch that movie Interstellar. It tells you how they have an expiration date. If we're not here, the earth will naturally cleanse itself of its parasites. You are immortal. They don't want you to know that. They want you to go to school and learn a little bit of the kids ain't even learning cursive writing no more. Why? Penmanship is the end-all be-all to existence. If you don't know how to write, you can't do nothing. Where do you think the first book?
High. All praise is due to God. All praise is due. This live right here will be a live that is focused on preparing for Ramadan. And for those who are unsure what Ramadan is, I'm going to go through some things about Ramadan, why Ramadan is important, so forth and so on. But I also want it to be a conversation. So if you have questions, if you have thoughts that you want to share, I want to open up this space and make this space a therapeutic space. I want to make this space a space that you feel inspired, that you feel motivated, that when you leave this space, you feel better. You know, hey auntie. So I got my incense burning. Much respect to my brother Ashraf International over there on St. Clair. That's where I get my incense and stuff from. So I'm just setting the mood. I'm setting my intentions. My intentions of this live is to not only talk to you about Ramadan and how to prepare for Ramadan, but also just like make this a sacred space. Many of us are living with serious trauma. You know, between October and February, tends to out of the whole year tends to be my toughest times. October 25th is my birthday, so that's always a beautiful time, but also a time that I remember heavily my mother, and it's also a time where my mother began to make her transition between October and February, being that February 22nd being the day that she transitioned. So it's always a tough time. And many of us have those same things. Many of us are living with trauma, living in grief, whether you lost your mother, your father, your brothers, your sister, your siblings. And if you're like me, when you lost your family, physically lost your mother or your father or your siblings, I know people who have lost their children, your life is never the same. Your life is never the same. Your life is never the same. And many of us are living in that grief. So how do you get through your day-to-day? Spirituality plays a major part. For me, Islam has been my medicine. And just like any other person that takes medicine, I haven't been the best person that take the medicine. I haven't taken my medicine as consistently as I should have. I'm sure many of you can relate, whatever your spiritual path is. I'm sure you don't always go to church. You're not always reading the Bible. You're not always studying Jesus. You're not always studying Muhammad or Moses or any of our ancestors, whatever the case may be. But just knowing that there is a spiritual standard for you to connect with is what brings me joy. And I think that's important. You know, we like to see people in one way. You know what I'm saying? But we human beings. And we are spiritual beings going through a human experience. You know? So everybody's not gonna always be one way. I always say I'm always I'm always a mix between Rick Ross and Surah Al-Rahman, which is a chapter in the Quran. I'm always in the mix of, you know, reading Quran and, you know what I'm saying, being in places and being around people that I know I wouldn't normally be or do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going through the human experience. And sometimes we up and sometimes we down. Sometimes you got the money to pay your bills and
What is the difference between a woman that wants to be a wife versus a woman that just wants a husband?
Oh, you know what? I think most of us are bred to just want a husband. Whereas to be groomed and trained to be a wife means to understand how to respect masculine energy, how to truly be inside of your feminine, which means trusting the leadership of your partner, because feminine chooses certainty. Feminine doesn't choose flow, because feminine is flow, right? Feminine energy. When we choose to understand that it is our biggest opportunity to seek out the needs of a man without him expressing them, I think a beautiful opportunity for us to empower that man and ride through the storms. I feel like we live in a weak generation where things get hard and people immediately are like, oh, I quit, this is too hard. And that's like, it's never going to hinder you the result you want. If you keep quitting, it's to be groomed as a wife means it's compassion, it's longevity. That's where marriage starts.
What is the difference between a woman that wants to be a wife versus a woman that just wants a husband?
Humans are the only mammals that voluntarily do breast milk into adulthood. No other mammal does breast milk once they leave their mother's breast. They're done with it. Only human beings do it, and part of it is because we've been marketed into believing that we need it for strong bones and teeth. Now, is the cow drinking cat milk to get his calcium? Right. The cow would like to be having greens. That's the way nature intended him to go. But unfortunately, he's given this blob of chemicals to fatten him up and make him make her produce more milk faster. That's what's happening. And so those chemicals that they're given, the growth hormones, the steroids, and the antibiotics, they don't dissipate. They don't dry up. You drink them and you eat them and it becomes a part of you. Even more so, my doctor told me when I was breastfeeding my kids, don't eat onions because it'll give the babies gas. Don't eat chocolate, it'll give the babies diarrhea, because everything you're eating is going directly to your breast milk. So don't you think all those chemicals are going directly to that cow's breast milk? So you're getting a triple dosage of growth hormones, steroids, and antibiotics. And I've read lots of studies that growth hormones feed cancer cells. Just another way you're getting it. So I have people come in here all the time and they go, well, yeah, I could give up meat, but I can't give up my cheese. Can't give up my cheese, right? Well, part of the reason you can't give up your cheese is look it up on the internet. The casein in the cheese has chemicals in it that are so addictive, it's like heroin. The casein in the cheese has chemicals that are so addictive that you have to have that cheese. And the other reason you have to have it is because it's part of the human condition. We're supposed to have fat. We're supposed to have salt, fat, and sugar, but the right salt, fat, and sugar. And but they're programming us into the wrong salt, fat, and sugar, the white table salt, the white flour, the white sugar, and the antibiotics, and the steroids and the antibiotics and the growth hormone and the fat. So you're getting all of this. And so the body feels like it's normal. And then the chemicals are addicting you and it's blowing you up. Think about it, folks. Cow breast milk was created for an animal to grow 1,000 pounds the first year of its life. How about that? Humans are the only mammals that voluntarily do breast milk into adulthood.
Did y'all know what created kissing? This is what created kissing, y'all. When you kiss another person, the microbes, over 80 million microbials, over 80 million of them are transferred to your lips to their lips. It's an actual bacteria exchange. Do you know the reason for that bacteria exchange is for the bacteria can see if you are compatible or not with the person that you just kissed? This is how smart the microbiome kingdom is. You looking at it like it's a sexual gesture, but it's really the bacteria that is sending off endorphins and sending off all types of different types of what can I call it? Well, what would I be? We'll call them endorphins. Sending all different types of endorphins out to actually interact with the other bacteria to make sure the microbiome network is actually compatible, y'all. That's the whole purpose for kissing. That's the whole entire. If you think I'm lying, just look this stuff up. 80 million bacteria are swapped out when you kiss. Over 80 million. Yes, 80 million.
What all men want to hear, but shocked when they actually hear it. Watch the video all the way through. Let me know what you think. Let's go.
Come with me if you want to live. I'm so grateful for you. Why? What I do? What don't you do, babe? You do everything for me every single day. You don't even complain. You go to work. You feed me. And every day you always put me on to something new.
Jeez.
I'm so forever grateful for you. That's right, Marcus. It's not overlooked. I hope you know that. I know.
Talk to him.
This, but I know. I love you. Love you more. Now, come on, woman, let me show you this shit.
What all men want to hear, but shocked when they actually hear it. Watch the video all the way through.
The degree of progress can never be separated from the woman. If you're in a country that's progressive, the woman is progressive. If you're in a country that reflects a consciousness toward the importance of education, it's because the woman is aware of the importance of education. But in every backward country, you'll find the women are backward. And in every country where education is not stressed, it's because the women don't have education. So one of the things I became thoroughly convinced of in my recent travels is the importance of giving freedom to the woman, giving her education, and giving her the incentive to get out there and put that same spirit and understanding in the children. And I frankly am proud of the contribution that our women have made in the struggle for freedom. And I'm one person who's for giving them all of the leeway possible because they've made a greater contribution than many of us men. And one of the best ways that they can help is to encourage the man. The degree of progress can never be separated from the woman. If you're in a country that's progressive, the woman is progressive. If you're in a country that reflects a consciousness toward the importance of education, it's because the woman is aware of the importance of education. But in every backward country, you'll find the women are backward. And in every country where education is not stressed, it's because the women don't have education. So one of the things I became thoroughly convinced of in my recent travels is the importance of giving freedom to the woman, giving her education, and giving her the incentive to get out there and put that same spirit and understanding in the children. And I frankly am proud of the contribution that our women have made in the struggle for freedom. And I'm one person who's for giving them all of the leeway possible because they've made a greater contribution than many of us men. And one of the best ways that they can help is to encourage the man. The degree of progress can never be separated from the woman. If you're in a country that's progressive, the woman is progressive. If you're in a country that reflects a consciousness toward the importance of education, it's because the woman is aware of the importance of education. But in every backward country, you'll find the women are backward. And in every country where education is not stressed, it's because the women don't have education. So one of the things I became thoroughly convinced of in my recent travels is the importance of giving freedom to the woman, giving her education, and giving her the incentive to get out there and put that same spirit and understanding in the children. And I frankly am proud of the contribution that our women have made in the struggle for freedom. And I'm one person who's for giving them all of the leeway possible, because they've made a greater contribution than many of us men. And one of the best ways that they can help is to encourage the man. The degree of progress can never be separated from the woman.
That one seed can put out so many more seeds and send a message. Because so in the rainforest, they taught these monkeys to wash their yams. They would feed them yams. And they taught one female monkey to wash its yam. It washes the yam. Within a week, all the monkeys in that area are washing their yams, even if they didn't know that monkey, didn't see that monkey. Within another week or so, there's all over the island, they're washing their yams. Then they check in other continents. Within a short period of time, they're washing their yams all over the world, all the monkeys. What just happened? Morphogenic resonance. When things vibrate together, right? They migrate together. It's a sympathetic vibration. If I have a guitar on this side of the room and another one on that side of the room, and they're both made of the same type of wood, come from the same stock, they got the same type of strings on it. Now, if I pluck an A on that one, the A on the other one vibrates too. You didn't even touch it. You didn't have to touch it because it was already in the position to pick up that frequency. Everybody's not in the position to pick up the frequency. So we keep talking about what they're doing. What they're doing is what they're supposed to do. We can't change them. They are like the seeds that fell on hard soil. Most of them are not going to make it. You only need one. You only need one rhythm. You only need oneness, and you need that to be concentrated. That particular one is the one we water. That's the one we nurture. Now that's going to what? Now make more seeds, because you only need 10,000 people on the planet to change the vibration of the whole planet. If you had 500 people vibrating at the frequency of 500, it's true love. There's always a certain amount of people on this planet vibrating at true love. That's true love, not the man-made love, not the made-up love. One person vibrating at true love affects all the people with the frequencies below 500, just by their resonance, by the frequency, by the sympathetic vibration they're putting out. Certain ones are going to raise their vibration based on that one, based on 19 keys. He keeps hitting the A tone. He keeps atoning. He's on the A tone. He realizes his issues and he's changing. He realizes what he's done in life and he says, I got to go back. He's forgiving. He's understanding. He's in gratitude mode. He's putting out the message every single day. He's growing more seeds based on his ideas. Now, all of a sudden, all the other beings on the planet that are vibrating just like that, they begin to vibrate too. And you're bringing them up from 250 hertz. 400 hertz. They're at true love too. You only need 10,000 people on the planet vibrating at true love to change everything.
To the sisters who don't want to cook.
There's a lot of
If you are a black woman who don't want to cook, make sure you and your husband never go to Africa for vacation. Never go to the Caribbean for vacation. And don't go to the deep south of the United States for vacation.
And that's changing.
And that's changing too. It is.
Unfortunately.
It is. But I'm going to say this to you. There's no better way for a woman to steal your man than through his stomach.
Man, that's a fact.
That principle is as old as Moses. And it starts off real simple. Because first of all, women who don't have men are always scheming on how to take yours. The competition. So when a woman knows you don't cook for your man, she start cooking. Hey girl, I made some greens. Get these to Mike.
You better toss them damn greens in the trash. That's one thing. So I don't even understand. I think women really understand that. I would never seriously consider dating a woman that doesn't know how to cook.
Me either.
And it's just
Tell this to the sisters who don't want to cook.
There's a lot of
If you are a black woman who don't want to cook, Make sure you and your husband never go to Africa for vacation. Never go to the Caribbean for vacation. And don't go to the deep south of the United States for vacation.
And that's changing.
And that's changing too. It is.
Unfortunately.
It is. But I'm going to say this to you. There's no better way for a woman to steal your man than through his stomach.
Sunday and Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras, of case, that's that morning. On that morning, early that morning, that's the big day. You sewing all day, all year long to come out that morning. But on Super Sunday, Mare Kurifayo, Indian Red. That's when the Indians come out. It's just the Indians. It's nothing but
No
Indians.
floats to
It's
compete
no
with.
folks to compete with, just us. So you can stand there and watch all that beauty and pageantry that comes in front of your face. Watch years of resistance that's manifested in creativity.
Sunday and Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras, of case, that's that morning. On that morning, early that morning, that's the big day.
Vanity, sisters, that I hear coming from women, from Black women. It is just horrifying. And for what? You know, first of all, Allah does not hear profanity. You can't draw from the power of what the universe can give you when you are using language that Allah does not recognize. And for the sake of our children, we should be constantly learning and growing in vocabulary, because we tend to curse because we don't know enough words. The minister will put you in check for 3 hours at a time because he has a limitless vocabulary. And he has said, well, you know, I slip up, I cuss sometimes. And don't take this wrong, but it's different when it comes from a man. Please don't take that wrong. That it's an issue of inferiority, but there are masculine endeavors and there are feminine endeavors. And the slave master is making both of us confuse the two. And that's making us enemies of one another so that we're not attracted to him and he's not attracted to us.
One, there is a single God. Two, there is no devil. Three, except for the day you were born and the day you were supposed to die, there is no single event in your life that cannot be forecast and, when necessary, changed. 4, it is your birthright to be happy, successful, and fulfilled. 5, you should grow and obtain wisdom during the process. 6, you are reborn through your blood relatives. 7, heaven is home and earth the marketplace. We are in constant passage between the two. 8, you are part of the universe in a literal, not figurative way. 9, you must never initiate harm to another human being. 10, you must never harm the universe of which you are part. 11, your temporal and spiritual capacities must work together. 12, you are born with a specific path. It is your goal to travel it. Divination provides your roadmap. 13, our ancestors exist and must be honored. 14, sacrifice guarantees success. 15, the Orisha live within us. 16, you need have no fear. These are the 16 truths of Ifa Tekin. 1, there is a single God. 2, there is no devil.
Hello, visionaries. This is Dr. Jaylene Wood, the host and executive producer for Vision Now, and also your Mystic brother. That's right, with the Mystic Moment, 92.1 FM, Smooth R&B, every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we're the one that said, help us help you. And what we're trying to do is that we're trying to get money into our community. We spend too much money with other people that don't do nothing for our community. All of this water here that we are here for fundraisers for you, okay, to help us provide resources for our programs for our young people. We were just in Elizabeth County yesterday. We're going to be going to Warren Williams, going to be going to Fowley Homes. We're coming to a neighborhood near you. But the bottom line is that if you have an athletic team, they need to be drinking real water. This is water not from Walmart. This is from the Black Wall Street Network. We have to bring our dollars back home. We're making everybody rich, okay, and also making us emotionally poor because we don't support each other. So if you have a business out there, a restaurant, or you know somebody, or you just want to get some water for your own personal use, this is the best water in the business. None better. God made this water. It's artesian spring water. Artesian. Don't go by this. I'm not gonna call no name. That blue bottle and them all these other jackleg bottles. No, this is the real water. Hello, visionaries. This is Dr. J.L.M. Hood, the host and executive producer for Visions Now, and also your Mystic brother. That's right, with the Mystic Moment, 92.1 FM, Smooth R&B, every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we're the one that said, help us help you. And what we're trying to do is that we're trying to get money into our community. We spend too much money with other people that don't do nothing for our community. All of this water here that we are here for fundraisers for you, okay, to help us provide resources for our programs for our young people. We were just in Elizabeth County yesterday. We're going to be going to Warren Williams, going to be going to Fowley Homes. We're coming to a neighborhood near you. But the bottom line is that if you have an athletic team, they need to be drinking real water. This is water not from Walmart. This is from the Black Wall Street Network. We have to bring our dollars back home. We're making everybody rich, okay, and also making us emotionally poor because we don't support each other. So if you have a business out there, a restaurant, or you know somebody, or you just want to get some water for your own personal use, this is the best water in the business. None better. God made this water. It's artesian spring water. Artesian. Don't go by this. I'm not going to call no name. That blue bottle and them all these other jackleg bottles. No, this is the real water. Hello, visionaries. This is Dr. J.L.M. Hood, the host and executive producer for Visions Now, and also your Mystic brother. That's right, with the Mystic Moment, 92.1 FM, Smooth R&B, every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we're the one that said, help us help. Hello, hello. We say, hope all is well out there in broadcast land. And yours truly here, of course, Julian. Julian X is here. Julian X is here from Columbus State University. And so, Julian, what's going on campus, man? I understand they had an alumni basketball game last week. Did you know anything about it?
I did not. Not aware.
Right. Yeah, they had an alumni basketball game over there, I understand. Last Saturday? Yeah, last Saturday, I think it was. And I guess it was a lot of fun. I guess they had some kind of occasion, I guess, weekend or something like that going on.
No, I ain't heard about it.
Yeah, and
see what's going on.
yeah. And how's the I guess progressive men and the NAACP and what's the atmosphere around the campus? By the way, yeah, what is the atmosphere around campus since the new administration has come in? What's the atmosphere? Is there any difference? Can you sense any difference?
Yeah, sense of urgency. It's kind of hard to call. I mean, I know kind of how I feel, but I don't see any. I don't see anybody coming to galvanize and saying, "Hey, we need to come together." We're trying to advocate for that, but I don't see anybody necessarily. Okay. Nobody's coming to us saying, "Hey, we need to make sure that we."
So there's no conversation about they're concerned about this, they're concerned about that.
I will say we do have some events coming in March where we do have like a panel discussion talking about how kind of we kind of sense things and kind of what we think we should be doing moving forward. So there is a panel discussion where it's having in March to kind of go over those things. But as of yet, there hasn't been any talk or any kind of heart to heart, mind to mind about kind of how everybody feels.
Right. Huh. Okay, well, I guess I'm not sure exactly. I'm not really sure how the student situation is with student loans and financial aid and all that. There's been no discussion around saying like for people kind of like what that's going to look like or whether it's going to make a difference at all or that there been thoughts around that.
That basically again, not as of now, but that was something on the topic list for when we do meet in March, kind of the student loans and the administration and kind of what should we be doing to kind of respond.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, what about have you? Now, since you started the NAACP branch here, right, for the collegiate, okay, has there been any discussions with other schools, other collegiate groups, or anything like that? Been any connections,
like the other chapters, or just on CSU campus?
No, I'm talking about no. I mean, like other college campuses. Have you like heard about any, or have you done any? Did y'all have you any training that the state had done with y'all, or that kind of thing?
From the NAACP.
Right.
Yeah. Not as of yet. What we've been doing now is basically trying to get our numbers up. We haven't done any events really, or anything, or any fundraisers or anything like that. Because right now we're right at about I want to say like 15 members, and I think we need the goal basically for the semester was to get up to between 30 and 50.
Well, all you do is that each member say, look, within the next week I'm gonna get one person to come to a meeting.
Yeah, that's definitely a great idea.
I mean, just okay. Let's everybody get your eye on somebody that
exactly.
that you meet in class or in the CAF or student center or something to say, well, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I definitely will spread that to the
just one person, because we got about 15. Each person kind of get one.
That'll get us to that quota.
Yeah.
But again, mainly just trying to get everybody in the house on board. But those are definitely some things that we want to try to kind of set the foundation for going into the summer and also the fall semester.
Right. You're meeting with the local branch. Y'all introduce yourself to them yet?
We actually have. Mainly it's been contact between myself and Brother Reggie. But we again haven't had many of the other members be able to interface with the city just yet. But I definitely do want. It's a few individuals that I think every day need to meet, yourself included. Just to get again, the whole idea is just to really start a marriage. It should have been kind of a communal.
Right. And again, the whole thing. But see, the thing about it is that as a college student, I'm from Austin. Okay, this is a chance now for you all to look at your community and say, okay, what do our community need from us when we get out here, like really moving? I mean, like, is it just about? I mean, are we just here to get some training, to get a job, and just to kind of assimilate into the woodwork, and just keep the plantation going? Either it don't have to be nothing radical other than. Okay, looking at the community, like for example, like the boycott situation. Okay, let's talk about that a little bit, because I guess tomorrow is supposed to. Well, there are two different ones. I understand. One is tomorrow. One is sometime in March.
Was it Pastor Jamal for the one in March?
Yeah.
I did.
Is that for 30 days or something? One is for a day, another for 30 days.
I think the one I had heard about was Pastor Jamal's up in Atlanta. I just recently, I didn't hear about Reverend Sharpton's until maybe about 2 or 3 days ago.
Do we have a reel on Pastor Jamal?
Not that I saw.
Okay, I put one on my page. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
you know. But what are you what are they saying? I know they sent out. So let's talk a little bit about what are they sending out, and then I can kind of give my thoughts about it.
Absolutely. So it's Al Sharpton's DEI boycott plan, and it's a 24-hour blackout on Friday, February 28th, from 12 a.m. until 11:59 p.m. The informational says that this is supposed to be a first step to counter the attack on DEI. And so the organization around it says to don't make any purchases, don't shop online or in store.
So that would mean that from what time tomorrow? Sometime tomorrow, 12 a.m. 12 p.m.
Yes, so I think so, like
12 o'clock tonight.
Yes, sir. 12 o'clock tonight until 11:59 tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 12. So it'll be starting in approximately 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
And then from 12 a.m. until 11:59 p.m. Yeah, so it says, no online or in store. No Amazon, no Walmart, no Best Buy.
Well, I'm going to those anyway.
Right. Yeah. I guess I've been participating. No McDonald's or other fast food. No gas, no major retailers. Do not use credit or debit cards for non-essential spending. Try to buy all you need before Friday, February 28th.
Yeah. Well, I can't think of anything.
And it says, they have a section, I guess, for why it matters, or for the.
Okay. What do they say about that?
For them, it said corporations and banks only care about their bottom line.
Did you want to lean up a little bit so we can catch you?
Oh, yeah. It says corporations and banks only care about their bottom line. Disrupting the economy for even one day sends a powerful message. If they don't listen, we make the next blackout longer. It says our numbers are.
Well, I mean, they're not gonna be. Well, you're gonna be longer. That one day. I mean, I mean, that ain't no pain. That ain't no pain, no gain.
Yeah. Right back to spending the next day.
Right.
It says, and then it has something spread the message. February 28th, the 24-hour economic blackout begins. So,
now, what about the idea that you try to, I guess my thought is that try to find black-owned businesses to shop with during that time. In other words, you're not doing there, but like that. I mean, is there any discussion like that?
I actually wouldn't. I just found out about this one, so I wouldn't know.
Okay.
But it doesn't say that on the thing, which would be
right.
Which would be a good move.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of as opposed to just fasten off. Don't buy anything except from, like that. I mean, that kind of vibe. I mean, So
I was under the impression
there hadn't been no discussion on campus about the boycott either.
No, not that again. But I will say I haven't been on campus particularly this semester. Has been real unique. Only because I have one class and it's at 9 in the morning. So after there, I'm generally back at home going to work. But that's just for this semester.
Right.
There may have been some discussions, but I haven't been on the yard necessarily this semester.
Okay.
As much as previous, so there may be some discussion. There may be some I hope so. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I guess in my mind is that with things like that, to at least have to convene a circle of discussion, just in the cafeteria where people just kind of sit around the table and just talk about it. I mean, I'm gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. I mean,
why not?
Yeah. Just kind of chop it up a little bit. Well, what do you think about it? Whatever. You think it will make a difference? I mean, that kind of thing. Just to have a discussion
to generate the
atmosphere,
space.
Right. And I'm surprised some of the professors hadn't said something about it. I guess you said that you usually have the one class.
I would hope so. I would think it was a shit. I think it's when I did find out about it, I thought it was it's better than doing nothing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I may be misinformed, but people have mixed opinions about Al Sharpton, evidently.
Yeah.
I was on the negative side. I was told, okay, Al, he's just a con man. That's what people. I mean,
Yeah, well, I mean,
in general.
yeah, I guess, and I get. I mean, because but I guess I'm like this and that. Well, I don't think he's. I mean, yeah. Well, I guess con man, but he is. He is. In other words. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say, he's kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because see, I didn't like the notion that they were saying, well, let's go to Costco. I mean, no, let's go to Costco.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I did see that.
Let's march to a black business. I mean, find one in your town. I mean, whatever it is, a restaurant or whatever. I mean, do that. I mean, like as opposed. But see, my thing is though is that since he's kind of maybe bought by certain interests, yeah. So therefore, he don't want to like because there might be some of his sponsors or something. You know what I'm saying? So, now Jasmine Crockett, you didn't see her when she was here, did you?
I did not.
I did. She's because she's apparently they've set up something like. She's a part of the PR team. I don't know. You can pull up one of her reels or something, but it seems like she's a part of. She's been doing a lot of speaking out lately, a lot of issues and things of that sort. Now, the Breakfast Club had a little discussion with her that I think that's on my page as well, but a little discussion about because they I'm trying to see who. Well, they were talking about why isn't Hakeem Jeffries and the other Democrats doing this, doing that? But the fact of the matter is that the thing about it is that I guess my thing is this: why don't you do it? I mean, like, okay, that's fine, okay, but why don't you talk about? Because you got a platform. I mean, you got a platform. I mean, so because Jab was on his platform. So therefore, my point is that because when you talk about the Democratic Party, there's a whole lot of different interests in there. So therefore, and then of course, like in Hakeem state. I mean, I don't like all the positions that he took. I had a little problem with. Even when he was here, in terms of, the position that was taken, but I know that's the company line about what was going on in the Middle East, and so I really had a little, because I know he was the guest speaker last. Was it last year? No, yeah, I think last year. I think he was the guest speaker, wasn't it? But he was here in Columbus, and yeah, I think it was because I was supposed to go last year. And some got crossed up, but I didn't go. But my point is that I get that, but again, the community, people always want to help somebody else to speak out, but again, like with him, you got a national platform, and my thing is that also is that I think you need to be calling out some of these athletes and some of these entertainers. Why y'all not putting together your money, to establish some businesses and things of that sort? I mean, I'm saying that having that kind of discussion. You know what I'm saying?
Figuring out what we can straighten out ourselves first.
Yeah.
Straighten out others.
Yeah. And I think this is perfect. I kind of. What did you hear some of the comments? I can't remember some of the comments that were made. The brother was talking about Ramadan coming up and kind of. What that coming up on Saturday, I guess. If the moon is sighted, because I'm kind of ready for it. I mean, because I've been missing meals anyway. I mean, so that kind of thing. But he was just kind of saying some things. Well, I look at it as well, man. You do what you can. I mean, you can't do a full fast or whatever. Matter of fact, you want to run that. take a little break and kind of run that back, and let's talk a little bit about Ramadan, because I think that is I think that the barakah,
in the spirit of fasting,
the spirit of fasting, economic fast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that part. So like I said, we can take a little break here, and you can run a reel while you're looking for it. If they got one ready. And again, you listen to Vision now, Supper Club. You can give us a call if you want to. It's 706-221-4830. And of course, we are, here to make it do what it do, or do what it does, for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, that was strong too. The brother was speaking at Carver right now. Yeah. While you looking for the other one, why don't you play a little bit of his? Because I thought he made some good points. This Divisions now, the Supper Club, and of course we're here every Thursday, and 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and right here on New Era Broadcast Network. Right, that part. Okay, and here's a motivational speaker trying to talk to some youth, I think, at Carver High School, and I thank Jody Dewan Hill for bringing us this video. Okay.
Sit up. If you don't, you'll be standing up. You're not gonna leave this assembly. You don't have a choice. Put your cell phones up. Put your watchguards up, Chromebooks up, and sit up and pay attention. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Try it again. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Coach Marvin Hammonds, Pastor Marvin Hammonds, whatever you want to call me, Brother Marvin Hammonds, and Dick Marvin. I didn't come here to be particular about any title or anything like that. I came because I have an assignment to do, and my assignment brought me to Carver High School today. As I look around, I see a whole bunch of young men. Some of you don't want to be here. Yeah, I get it. When I was at Carver, I didn't want to be here. Calling me to assembly for what? They gonna say the same thing they always say. But I was a hard-headed young man. Grew up in East Carver Heights. I don't know who here from East Carver Heights, but I grew up in East Carver Heights. And everything I did was violence. I know you think you're violent, I know you think you're bad and all that, but in the hospital, I got you. Believe that. No matter how big you are, what's going on with you, I'm going to get you. I'm going to catch you slipping somewhere. It's going to be me. I don't need no homeboys with me. I don't need no gang with me, even though I had that myself. I was a stupid individual. Ignorant. Darkness all about my life. What do I mean by darkness? Ignorant mean I bust you in your head, I deal with the consequences later. And I did. If you mess with my homies, believe me, because I feel like I'm supposed to protect them, I'm going to come see about you. So I'm real ignorant. And a lot of you out here, they are making bad choices and you ignorant. Some of you want to do better, some of you don't want to do better. But I'm telling you, the fight is very, very hard out here for you young men. And it ain't changed since I've been in high school. I still see young men making poor decisions. I still see young men, when the police get behind their scared and they know they're dirty in the car. I still see young men that every day you got an education that you get, but you play around in school. Yeah, we got football players and all that, but only half of them do what they're supposed to do. See, I'm at a high school already, and outside of Carver is the best high school in America, in my opinion. That's Grayson High School. Y'all that play football, y'all know what it is. I say all that to say, I shouldn't be there. I shouldn't be here. Some of our people that grew up with me, they already gone. I should have been the first one. So I take this very seriously. So when I walked through, I wasn't looking at nobody. I was just walking through and seeing all these young men that are young men, and most of them look just like me. We in Columbus, Georgia. I need you to understand that you're in Columbus, Georgia. And things just don't work like that in Columbus, Georgia. If you make a mistake in Columbus, Georgia, my God, you might not never get back from it. But I'm a product of 10 chances. Yeah, I've been in cars that I shouldn't have been in. So what? Yeah, I did some things I'm ashamed of. I did some things I don't even want to tell you about. Some of y'all had already second, third, got that way yet. And I weep over and over because I see young men going to jail.
Focused on preparing for Ramadan. And for those who are unsure what Ramadan is, I'm going to go through some things about Ramadan, why Ramadan is important, so forth and so on. But I also want it to be a conversation. So if you have questions, if you have thoughts that you want to share, I want to open up this space and make this space a therapeutic space. I want to make this space a space that you feel inspired, that you feel motivated, that when you leave this space, you feel better. You know, hey auntie. So I got my incense burning. Much respect to my brother Ashraf International over there on St. Clair. That's where I get my incense and stuff from. So I'm just setting the mood. I'm setting my intentions. My intentions of this live is to not only talk to you about Ramadan and how to prepare for Ramadan, but also just like make this a sacred space. Many of us are living with serious trauma. You know, between October and February, tends to out of the whole year, tends to be my toughest times. October 25th is my birthday, so that's always a beautiful time, but also a time that I remember heavily my mother, and it's also a time where my mother began to make her transition between October and February, being that February 22nd being the day that she transitioned. So it's always a tough time. And many of us have those same things. Many of us are living with trauma, living in grief, whether you lost your mother, your father, your brothers, your sister, your siblings. And if you're like me, when you lost your family, physically lost your mother or your father or your siblings, I know people who have lost their children, your life is never the same. Your life is never the same. Your life is never the same. And many of us are living in that grief. So how do you get through your day-to-day? Spirituality plays a major part. For me, Islam has been my medicine. And just like any other person that takes medicine, I haven't been the best person that take the medicine. I haven't taken my medicine as consistently as I should have. I'm sure many of you can relate, whatever your spiritual path is. I'm sure you don't always go to church. You're not always reading the Bible. You're not always studying Jesus. You're not always studying Muhammad or Moses or any of our ancestors, whatever the case may be. But just knowing that there is a spiritual standard for you to connect with is what brings me joy. And I think that's important. You know, we like to see people in one way. You know what I'm saying? But we human beings. And we are spiritual beings going through a human experience. You know? So everybody's not going to always be one way. I always say I'm always a mix between Rick Ross and Suratul Rahman. which is a chapter in the Quran. I'm always in the mix of, reading Quran and, what I'm saying, being in places and being around people that I know I wouldn't normally be or do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going through the human experience. And sometimes we up and sometimes we down. Sometimes you got the money to pay your bills and sometimes you may not. Sometimes you are in great marriages and sometimes you need to get out of one. We're constantly in between one space or the next. And that's why Ramadan is so important for the Muslims. And really, I want to open it up for any of you who are, even if you're not Muslim, to engage in Ramadan, because what we know and what we've been taught in the Quran, it says, God says, not verbatim, but and basically what he says is that fasting has been prescribed for you as it has been prescribed to those before you. Who gives prescriptions? The doctor. Now you're finding that, not even Muslim, there's doctors talking about the beauty and the power of intermittent fasting and how those things have an impact on you. So what we find is that overindulging in anything, there's no benefit, but the true power is in the discipline. The true power is in the discipline. And boy, oh boy, that's a tough thing for many of us. There's times that you are more disciplined than other times. Lately, boy, I've been wanting some cookies, man. I know I ain't supposed to eat no cookies, boy, but I show up at Insomnia. I mean, no commercial, but they got some good cookies, boy. And I go there, boy, I get me a 6-pack and some milk, boy. Be drilling them cookies, man. Knowing I ain't supposed to eat them. Sometimes you do things that you know that you're not supposed to do. Why? Because you're a human being, and it's important for you to be merciful to yourself. So spirituality is what helps us, because it helps us have an understanding of the unseen world. So let me get to Ramadan. So Ramadan is a very special time of the year. It's based upon the moon. So people may ask, well, why is Ramadan at different times throughout every year? Well, it's based upon the moon. It's based upon the moon. And Ramadan is a time where, as Muslims, we believe that this is the time when the Quran was revealed. The Quran was revealed during the time of Ramadan. As Muslims, we believe that Ramadan is a month in this time period. This month is better than any other month. And the days are better than any other days. And there's a night that's better than any other night. So what are some of the things that you and I can do to begin to prepare for Ramadan? Number one, just like anything else in your life, it's important to set the right intentions. Intentions are powerful. In Islam, it says that your actions are by your intentions. So now, don't get me wrong, you can intend to do something good and your actions be something different. And that is something that we all has had happen to us. But when you intend to do something good, even if it don't come out that way, it says that God blesses you for that. If you don't intend to do something wrong, but something wrong still happens, God forgives you for that. You know what I learned, or I'm learning? I was talking to one of my brothers today, and he said something to me, man, that was like, you know how you hear something sometime and it just like shocks you and you have to really think about it? Like, oh, wow, I never thought about that. It's so amazing that, like, we have these big old brains and there's things that we've never thought about. And he said to me, he said, I pray to God that he bless us to have a better opinion of him. I want you to think about that for a second. What is your opinion of God? What's my opinion of God? Many of us, we pray, but still are fearful. We pray and we still have doubt. Many of us are Christians, are Muslims, or whatever our faith path is, based upon the fact that our mothers was or our fathers was. But how many of us have chosen spirituality for ourselves? How many people out there right now who you don't pray because you believe you are too embarrassed to talk to God because of where you was at last night or what you did last night or what this or whatever it is that you've done, you believe that you're unworthy to even talk to God. I know, man, I get on here, or I know even just my life, I've done things, I've been a part of things. I'm not perfect. Please don't look at me as I'm perfect.
The reason I said to put it there because it just kind of resonated because it's kind of like Ramadan is kind of like what people do with New Year's resolution. You know, in other words, okay, this year I'm gonna work on this, I'm gonna work on that, that kind of thing. And Ramadan is kind of like that. Is that, you know, that each Ramadan always you kind of try to, you know, again, as I approach Ramadan, there's some things that I know, like myself. I mean, there's some things that I didn't consciously think about Ramadan, but it's just in the universe. And so I did just a few days ago. Remember yesterday, I was just thinking that, you know, there's been this discussion about the coming about the Liberty Theater. And some people asked me, was I going? But I just did not want to go because I did not want to hear the foolishness. You know what I'm saying?
That was about it.
You know, and the discourse and the sellout and just the mischief that people playing. I just, you know, that's why I know Ramadan is. I mean, in my spirit, Ramadan is coming because I get my tolerance get low. You know. And so my thing was that this is going to be my turning point here. I mean, I do it kind of in a way, but this would be my turning point. This is that I'm tired of trying to convince people to work for God. You know, my name Jihad is one who works for God.
Yes, sir.
You know, one who lives for God. And I'm just tired of having to convince people to do the right thing. I mean, like you said, I mean, you know, many times you're trying to do the right thing, but you might be the wrong thing. But say, oh no, that's not right. So, so my thing is that I'm tired of trying to convince people to do just like we're talking about right now. Okay, what's going on in the country? But my thing is that, you know, we want to talk about. And even with the boycott, I get it, but my point is that I just think that when you put one thing down, you pick something that they always say, well, don't take nothing from nobody that you're not going to be able to replace something just with it. And so my thing is that I just don't have the patience. Now, my passion to help people is still going to be here. I'm still going to do it, but I'm not going to convince nobody. And really, I don't really be trying to convince. I be trying to. I be really trying to educate people. You know, my belief is that look, you just don't understand.
Yes.
I mean, like the only reason why you don't do certain things, you just don't understand.
Yes.
You know, but again, I hate to come to the point that some people don't want to understand. They don't want to understand. You know, it's that type of thing. So I guess what has been in your spirit? I mean, like, as we kind of go into what is there anything in particular you just kind of that you turn to what this Ramadan is going to mean to you? Like anything you're searching for, anything you kind of working on within your own spirit that you saying, well, like, you know, trying to, you know, it's trying to, you know, what I want, you know, it's trying to, you know, it might end up in the same place, but I just want to double check.
Yes,
You know, I want to double check that I'm in the place that I should be. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I'm reviewing.
Yeah. I think that is a good way. I kind of been through what kind of what's been on my thinking is just the purification, maybe.
Yeah. You move that coat out the way.
Yeah, just purification. Kind of, but in the physical way, spiritual way, just kind of trimming all the fat, you know, and stuff like that. In terms of how I spend my money and stuff. Health wise, obviously with the fast. Spiritually, I want, you know, I know. I think it was at the mosque. You know, they read the Quran during the time. I decided I kind of want to read as much as the Quran as I can for the month.
Right, because what like 1/30th a day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That type of thing.
Try to get through the, you know, again, spiritual purification.
Right.
Just again, kind of that's in terms of kind of what my plans have been. You know, just to kind of not a reinvention, but just a purification, shedding off what I'm not. You know, coming, learning some new things. Just to, you know, again, be a more so the word that's on my mind is purification for whatever reason right now. Just trying to
you just feel that you need to purge some stuff.
Purge, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
Yeah, I think purge might work too. You know,
Right,
going through the some spiritual fire.
Right.
You know, to kind of come out on the other end for the better.
Right. Yeah. In other words, you know, it's kind of like spring cleaning. You know, like okay, just kind of look at the things. Okay. Okay, I keep this, but I'm not gonna keep that.
Exactly.
I mean, kind of taking some of the load off here, taking load off there.
Exactly.
You know that type of thing.
You're lighting the load. And
Right. You know, and it's, you know, and I guess and putting it to the good. I mean, you know, but it's just that you know, because it wears you when you know, just like I had a long discussion with somebody today about why we need to collaborate. I mean, like I mean, okay, you feel good about what you're doing. I feel good. Everybody, but I'm trying to say, but we know we gotta up this. We gotta up this. I mean, so and the up it had to be the greater one. It has we got to be a greater connectedness.
Yes,
and that's because that's what the whole movement is about. Is that even with the boycott or what we talk about, they talk about Montgomery bus boycott. But again, it's because people connected on a greater level. You know, it's like, you know, I can start riding the bus, or I can not. But when we do it in mass, it does mean more because that means that the harmony. Because life is one. I mean, that's what Ubuntu is all about. I mean, you can't, whatever happened in this aspect, it affects other things too, you know. And I guess maybe it has to do also with, like myself, is that and in different phases of your life. And okay, like in my phase of my life, I'm just like I said, because obviously health is, got to be, but feeling good, and also just self-care.
Yes,
but also enjoy. I mean, see, my thing about this work in the community, and those even no matter what it is, trying to deal with violence, trying to help people, not fall into those kind of shadows. But again, my thing is that there still can be a joy about that. But then there's some things that just don't set right though. You know what I'm saying? That no, it's kind of like take me on a detour. So
I would say that I guess we need to boycott individualism next.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm trying to say.
Let's boycott.
Yeah.
What's it called? Being in our own little.
It's what I call it, being in silos.
Yeah. So
you know what I'm saying?
Boycott the silos.
Foxholes. And to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first thing about it, that if we're gonna collaborate, we got to communicate first. I mean, just But some people, they just okay with it. But my thing is that, look, I know there's some things that we need to construct. That many of the institutions that we have today, many of those institutions were built by previous generations. You know what I'm saying? But there's some institutions, not for those institutions to be replaced, but they need another level added on to it. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason or another, it seems that people don't quite get that. You know, that we need to up our game. We just, I mean, and it means I want to be like, I mean, you know, people gonna have their own idiosyncrasies because we all growing. But again, my thing is that part of the greater jihad. This is a time. Ramadan for me is the greater jihad. The greater jihad is that you are fighting within yourself to be better and to do better.
That might be,
you know what I'm saying?
Just kind of think about how I'm vibing for this season. That's kind of, it's like the end again, like the inner battle, trying to make sure that war is won.
right. I mean, because when I throw a punch, I want it to be a good punch. I mean, you know what I mean, and like I said, I don't want to feel like I'm convincing. You know, I mean, I'm educating. I'm gonna continue to educate. I'm gonna try to educate, and because you know, and also another thing about it is to being candid and honest. You know, and I'm not that I don't want. I'm not that I'm not going to care about how people feel, but at some point we just have to face. And again, if it's not real, then let's talk about that too. I mean, maybe I got it wrong. I mean, maybe I got it wrong. Well, if I got it wrong, okay, well, let's talk about it. I mean, as opposed to running away. I mean, let's because we got to be able to,
especially as the adults.
We got to be able to find a way to stay connected. Because like right now, many times I think about it, you know, and some people, you know, maybe they don't. I hear them talking about, well, the grid might go down. You know, well, you know, like for days the phone might not work. The electricity might go because it's the volatility of the electricity thing. You know, and I understand myself. What? You know, none of that. How we gonna? I mean, you know, how we gonna do this? I mean, like, you know, like, are we ready? Just like again, we talk about the water all the time, right? Okay. Well, my thing is at least we got a source of water. Now we got to go get it, but we do have our own source of water. Right. So we need our own source of some other things too. You know, to have our own storage place, our own source, so that we can, we can be prepared. I mean, you know, one man said, I'm going to give me a big bag of Navy beans. I mean, so you know, so maybe make some soup, you know, and that type of thing. I can eat it every day. I mean, in other words, but I just feel like during this time, maybe we need to kind of look at that kind of thing, kind of create some storage for some things, you know, to just, you know, back up, you know, type of thing.
I think I was watching another lecture yesterday. He was Brother Naeem Akbar. He was kind of speaking about that.
Yeah, that's one of my mentors.
Yes,
Naeem. Yeah. How you picked up on Naeem, huh?
I mean, it's been a few years, but I haven't. This was a lecture I hadn't seen though. But he was basically mentioning that. He was like, "This is what men do." He said, "When you ask men where the food come from, they don't say Publix."
Right. And I'm glad you said that, because that's one of my big things is that we got to deal with this thing. There's several things that I didn't know that we got to deal with. One is, you know, I got a big thing about the difference between, we got too many males and too few men.
Yes, sir.
And my thing is that I want people to challenge me, because my thing is that if you want to do something because men build capacity. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you can't. One of my phrases is, you got to be a man among men. You can't be a man by yourself. You can't be a man. Okay, ain't nobody else but no. You got to be a man among men. So therefore, steel sharpen steel, iron sharpen iron. You know, and so we got to somehow, and my thing is that I challenge myself. So therefore, let's say, that's why I say I can work with anybody. I mean, I don't have, what I mean? Long as we should figure out some kind of way, even if we got some kind of difference here, that we should figure out some kind of way that for us to connect. Because our survival depend on it. Because I grew up at a time whereby, that was an unspoken word that we knew at the end of the day, our survival was dependent upon each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
These days we act like we don't need that now. I tell you another thing that is very major, and we hear a lot of, and that is we are failing in parenting, and especially mothers. Mothers, and the other thing about it, too many females, I don't care what they don't want to challenge each other. I think we as males, I think we challenge each other. I mean, those of us who are trying to be conscious of, but I found that men and females, they don't like to challenge each other on being a better, at the end of the day, better mother, giving us a better product. Maybe, you mad at the dad, blah, 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 blah. But the bottom line is that, are you raising a decent daughter? Are you raising a decent son? And that don't mean that you're not going to do some little funny things and, but my point at the end of the day, men got to be men and males got to be men and females got to be women. And I think we're missing that. And at the end of the day, males going to have to do a better job selecting who they are going to mate with and supporting and all that type of thing. And females are going to have to do a better job of selecting whose life they are going to nurture. I mean, whereas I didn't think about it was that, during the movement days, it's almost like the one that, you were going to have more attention from ladies when you were doing more. I mean, in other words, it's like, just when you're doing more, in other words, then, I mean, in other words, like I used to tell the kids when I used to do workshops, and by the way, it's like, you should, a girl should not give a boy attention that not trying to make good grades. I mean, if he's not trying to make good grades, why are you, now, he might not be making good grades, but y'all study together and you help him. Mm-hmm. Y'all help each other. But you how you like somebody and they're not trying to make no good grades, they don't have no real future. I mean, they're not even trying, they're not trying to be self-sufficient. They're not trying to, so as a female, you're not going to feel, you're going to be insecure. Because look, you're not encouraging, you want a guy to be a girl. So therefore you can't, you got to like the fact that we are different, that we bring something different to.
I think Sister Ava kind of spoke on that in
the
video that she had.
I had a thing that I ran off. I didn't. Okay, I can't. But maybe next week I'll read. But there's a piece that I had written about, long piece too, that I had written about, and I know I can't find it now. But we run out of time for this evening. But I was just talking. What I was talking about, matter of fact, what the brother was saying in one of his videos. About the fact that, and just like Sean, what Umar was talking about, look, if you are not a woman if you don't like to cook. I'm not talking about, look, if you don't like to cook, if you don't like to clean, you're not a woman. You cannot be a woman. You can't be a mother if you don't like it. I mean, not that, I got to do it, so I do it. No, you got to like it. It's, that's feminine. That's feminine. Yes, and that's why you got to like planning and preparing and living for a better future. Yes. You got to like taking care, you know what I'm saying, and encouraging and working in a team with somebody trying to make life better. You got to, that's why I say, even with being a part of what we call the struggle, and maybe they're not the, I guess maybe it's the labor of love. It's not really, we call it a struggle. But really, my point is that, the liberation struggle, the liberation label to whatever. That's something that you gotta love. I mean, you gotta. I mean, in other words, I'm saying.
Can't nobody convince you.
Yeah, I'm trying to say, whatever reason are we living if we're not trying to make things better some kind of way?
Yeah, absolutely.
If we're not trying to make each other better, I mean, what are we doing here?
Keep the plantation going.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. People think. I mean, as opposed to people looking to rest. They're looking to what to settle.
Comfortability.
Yeah, and that's one thing I found out that people, too many people, they like I say they looking to escape reality, and I think that's a big thing. So that's why they wonder why the children like that. The children have learned to desire to escape reality, but you can't find no happiness in escape. You can't find happiness. You can only find happiness in embracing reality. You can't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why you're gonna be vaping. That's somebody talking to vaping. You're gonna be losing your mind. You're gonna want to commit suicide. You're gonna be angry because you're trying to escape reality. No, you can't. The happiness is in embracing reality, accepting and building a better reality. That's what it's all about. So I think that's my last thought there tonight. Is that this Ramadan for me is hopefully that, like I say, I can be better at building. But also, I don't. I appreciate many times people say, Dr. Hood, man, I really appreciate what you're doing for the community, blah blah blah. And I mean, I get it, but in my mind, I'm trying to say, if you really, 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 really appreciate it, you'll be helping me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
Front lines. Yeah.
Well, I mean, as opposed to, we need more people. Well, yeah, I'm just trying to say, hey, get in the game. Get on the team. I mean, that's that kind of thing. I mean, I know it's
maybe some clarity will come over the course of the fast and stuff. And
yeah. So and again, like I said, if any of the people want to get together around here during Ramadan, it might not be maybe once or twice a week. Whatever. Just get the Quran and just sit down, read it, and just chop it up. Just kind of do that kind of thing. I think that would be something good to do. So we hope that you all enjoyed our discussion tonight. In the last words you'd like to share before we
just peace and blessings and Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Kareem. That's right. So get ready for the get ready. No doubt. So again, we hope that you and I hope that you can have a discussion like this with people around you. Is that kind of vibe? You know what I'm saying? That it's important that you have this discussion. We have a month, so for us to discuss, really doing the best that we can. And so so I appreciate it. I just want to say that I hope that your journey here, helping us build New Era Coalition has been good to you, good for you.
That's what's been the best training that
I just want
male could receive.
I don't want to say, okay, when you see what I see, now you might, do you arrive at the same place where that kind of, or does a different answer come to you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now in other words, based upon the reality as I understand it, inspires me to, to do certain things.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? So therefore, okay, if you begin to go in these meetings and listen to people, and I know how I feel about what it. I mean, somebody else said, "Well, it ain't that bad." Okay, maybe me. But you go in and say, "I see what Dr. Hood talking about." I mean, it does. I mean, this don't make no sense. Why I gotta beg you to help yourself and to help us? I mean, like it's my job. Like, no, I'm doing you doing me a favor. You ain't doing me no favor. Exactly. What's wrong with you? Have you listened at the news later? Have you looked at the streets later? Do you see what's going on in the world now? Other people who are moving, they are galvanizing, they're circling the wagons. And we that's why I was on Facebook the other day and I was trying to tell some of my young G's and G's, hey, don't get bent out of shape and y'all arguing about trying to kill each other. I mean, hey, let that go. Stand down, Ramadan. I mean, hey, don't even let the dead leave with the dead. Come on to living. Let's do something different. Don't fall into the trap. Yes, of gloom and that same type of thing. So let G mean gangster, not gangster. So I'm saying, because gangsters ain't doing nothing but self-destruction. Gangsters are doing construction, not destruction. Yes, sir. You know, so that's what it's all about. So again, brother, yes, sir. As always, appreciate you, and because maybe we need to go and get that book out there, Robert. I think I just know today, but maybe that we need to go on, and that's been heavy on my heart too. I mean, is this growing? If I don't go and get started, is this growing? Get bigger and bigger. I mean, and I'm trying to say, you know,
it's gonna be a textbook.
Yeah, that part.
Man, we do need some textbooks.
That's right. And make sure your children get books. Get them off the doggone tablets and computers and phones. Okay. As always, come on. Tutashinda, Uhuru Sasa, Watu Wazuri. Free the land. Peace. Free the land. Soul. Love. So go to be. With a little sprinkle of power. Shalom. Good night. Assalamu alaikum. Praise the Lord.